coming to today's session, we will discuss two projects corresponding to the logistic regression. After finishing those two projects, I will give one more exercise project. Do that exercise project after finishing the class. So in this week, Monday and Tuesday. So in the next week, you don't have classes on Monday as well as Tuesday. So coming to the class, we need to discuss one more topic that is called as logistic regression. Regression. So here also I want to follow the same steps which we followed for simple linear regression. So for that purpose, I will open the template. So go to the desktop. Okay, we haven't opened it. So coming to the any machine learning algorithm, what is our first step? Importing the essential libraries. So for our project also, I want to import the all essential libraries. Here also, I want to import all the essential libraries. So what is our second step? We need to import our data set. Second step is importing our data set. So I want to copy same thing. Here I want to import the data set. So here I want to import the data set. Whereas coming to here, data set name will be different. So for this problem, I am using different data set and which is presented the same working directory. For that purpose, we need to specify the data set name. Our data set name is social network ads. So here it is the data set which I am taking. After taking this data set, I want to see first 5 columns or first 5 rows present on the data set. To see top 5 rows, so here I'm applying head function on it. So whenever you apply head function on it, it will return the top 5 columns present in, top 5 rows present on the data frame or data set. So here these are the 5 rows. So here in this data set, we have user ID column, gender column, age column, as well as estimated salary. So based on these features, we need to say whether that person purchased that specific product or not. We need to predict finally whether that person purchased the product or not. So for that purpose, we are considering these parameters. Out of all these parameters, so in this model, we are considering only age parameter as well as estimated salary as input, and whether the person purchased that specific product or not, we are considering that parameter as an output. So for next, what we need to do? We need to divide this data set in the form of input as well as output. That is nothing but features as well as response vector. So for that purpose here, to specify the input, here I am using index location function again. Data dot. So here I look function. Index location is a function. So here I want to consider all the rows. Whereas coming to the columns, I want to consider the elements which are corresponding to second column as well as third column. Those are nothing but age as well as estimated salary column. So as an inputs, I am considering age as well as estimated salary column. And from these columns, I want to consider the values in the form of arrays. To take values in the form of arrays, we need to use values attribute to this index location function. After this, we need to specify the output also. Again, I am specifying output also by using index location function only. Here also, I want to access all the columns, all the rows, and I want to access only one column presented the fourth index, that is nothing but purchased column. So in this array also I want to take values only. Here also I want to take values only. So I am running this portion. So here I divided my data set in the form of training as well as testing. So after this I want to know the information regarding my data set. I want to know the information regarding my data set. So here it is the information regarding my data set. In my data set, I have 0 to 399 indexes and here we have 400 entries. So each and every value is fully present values. So here we don't have any missing values, and it is taking 15.8 KB of memory. So this is about information regarding my data set. And I want to describe my data set. To describe the data set, we need to apply describe function on it. So here I'm applying describe function on it. So here, whenever you apply the describe function, it will return all the parameters corresponding to that data set. So here, these are the different parameters. So if you want to perform the exploratory visualization, you can perform by using another project. So for the for the multiple linear regression, I explained two projects. So out of two projects, so in one project I took help of Seaborn library. So if you want to perform exploratory visualization here, you can apply same step here also. Whereas I'm not performing that thing for this project. So after this, what we need to do, we need to split our data set in the form of training and test set. Here, next step is we need to split our data set in the form of training and test set. So I'm copy pasting same step here. I'm not remembering anything. Directly I'm copy pasting the data. So here I am splitting my data set in the form of training set as well as test set. So here I am changing the test size. Here I want to specify test size as some 25%. So 25% of data I am using to test the machine, and remaining 75% data I am using to test the machine. So it means, so here we have 400 samples. Out of 400 samples, 25% is nothing but 100 samples. So here, out of the 400 samples, I am considering 300 samples for training the machine, and 100 samples I am considering to test the machine performance. So it is nothing but splitting the data set in the form of training and test set. After splitting the data set in the form of training and test set, here we need to apply one more step, that is called as feature scaling. Previously we did not perform this step, feature scaling step. The purpose of the feature scaling is to obtain the better accuracy by using machine learning algorithms. We need to have all the features in the specified range. So we need to normalize all the features into specified range. For that purpose, we need to perform this feature scaling. Coming to this feature scaling, we have one formula, that is nothing but normalization formula. So coming to the feature scaling, we have normalization formula. So for this formula is, so we can say, so the formula is, yeah, xi. That is nothing but sum of all the samples. So here it is some sample point minus mean of xi. So here I'm considering mean of all the samples. So by here I'm taking standard deviation. So that is nothing but standard deviation. We can represent that thing by using sigma of xi. So here it is about feature scaling. Feature scaling, the purpose of feature scaling is to get best accuracy in any machine learning algorithm. We need to scale each and every feature in the range of -1 to 1. So here, for this purpose, we are taking help of Gaussian distribution. Based on the Gaussian distribution, we are reducing the each feature size. That means, so I will show you that thing. Don't worry about this thing. So for that purpose, we need to apply feature scaling. So here in the pre-processing module of sklearn, we have this feature scaling attribute. So here I'm saying sklearn dot to perform this action. Here we need to import standard scalar. So here I'm importing standard scalar class. After importing this class, here we need to, whenever we create the class, we need to create an object with the specific name. Here I am creating an object with this specific name. So here it is about creating an object with that name, and I want to fit transform the input. So here I want to convert this training data. I want to so fit transform all the training set sample. So for that purpose, here I'm saying standard scalar dot. I want to apply fit transform method. I want to change all those features. So for that purpose, here we need to apply fit transform method. So here in the fit transform method, what we need to specify? We need to specify X training data. So here, now I want to observe the data which is present in the training set. So if you observe this data here, every sample is converted in the range of 0 to, so here if you observe the data, here it is normalized to 58 percentage, 0.58. Here it is normalized to minus 0.88. Like that, all the values are normalized in the range of minus 2 to 2. So here it is normalized in the specific distribution based on the Gaussian distribution. So here we converted all the features in this normalized range. For that purpose, so if you before this thing, if you observe the X training data, so here previously if you observe the X training data, here we have 400. Sorry, it is not the data. So here it is the data. Here we have age in the numeric values, and here we have estimated salary in the numeric values. So if you want to correlate these features, we are converting these features in the range of some minus 5 to 5 or minus 3 to 3 or minus 4 to 4. Based on the Gaussian distribution, we are normalizing these samples. So for that purpose, so if previously if you observe the training set data, here we have this information. Whereas after normalizing the data, this entire information will be converted in the form of minus 2 to or minus 3 to some plus 3. So for that purpose, we need to perform this standard scalar. We need to apply this standard scalar to normalize each and every feature. And I want to convert test to feature. So I want to apply this thing on the test set also. Whereas simply I want to transform the data present in the test set. Here I'm not applying fit transform method. Here simply I'm applying transform method only. And in the transform method, what we need to do? What we need to do? So here we need to specify test data. So I run this thing successfully. After this thing, what we need to do here? What we need to do here? We need to apply our machine learning model. Same step I am importing here. After applying feature scaling, here I am applying our model. So whereas coming to previous model, it is a regression problem. Coming to now, it is a classification problem. Finally, we are predicting whether that output is true or not. So here, whenever you want to import any model, so here it is the syntax. From sklearn, remember this thing, from sklearn dot family import class. So here it is the syntax to import any model. So initially we need to specify, so all the modules present in all the machine learning algorithms present in sklearn only. From that sklearn, we have different families. We need to specify the family. On that family, we have different classes. We need to specify that specific class name. So coming to here, logistic regression also belongs to linear model only. That means it is also belongs to linear model family only. After that, here model is different. So here we need to specify logistic regression. Here it is not linear regression. Here we need to apply logistic. Sorry, here we need to specify logistic regression. So after that, we need to create object with that specific name only. So here also we need to specify logistic. Here also I am applying logistic regression. So here it is a classification problem. That's why here I'm specifying classifier. Here I'm changing variable also. So here I'm saying classifier. Here I applied the logistic regression model. After applying this logistic regression model, what we need to do? We need to perform fit transform step. Sorry, we need to fit our data to this thing. So here again we need to how to fit the data? Classifier dot fit method. To fit the data, we need to use classifier dot fit method. So here I'm saying classifier dot fit. I want to feed the training set data. So here I'm saying X train, comma, Y train. To train the machine, here I'm giving some information that is nothing but training data. So here classifier is not specified. Okay. So here it is about classifier. So here we are getting some warning. It is not an error. It is an warning. Is to avoid this warning. So here when we can specify the solver equals to LBFGS. If you specify solver equals to LBFGS, we won't get this kind of warning also. So here to shut down this warning, so here I'm saying solver equals to LBFGS. So here whatever the thing given here, I'm typing same thing there. And here, yeah, I'm running this portion. Good. Good. This warning is shut down. So here I train the machine with the data which I have. So here initially we train the machine with the training data. After that we need to predict the outcome. So here we need to predict the outcome. So how to predict the outcome? So here for that we need to apply predict method. So here to predict the outcome we need to use predict method. So so classifier dot predict. So here I want to predict the output for test set. So here we need to predict the outcome for test set. So here we need to specify X test. Here initially we train the machine with the training data and here we predicted the output. So after predicting this output, here we need to see the confusion matrix. Corresponding to this data, I want to observe the confusion matrix. To see the confusion matrix, again we need to go to evaluation step. So here to evaluate this model, again we need to go to the metrics only. To evaluate the model, again we need to go to the metrics. So in the sklearn, we have from sklearn, we need to go to metrics module. So here we have metrics. In this, we need to import confusion matrix. To see the confusion matrix, we need to import this confusion underscore matrix. Here I am using this confusion matrix class. So after this, we need to create an object with the specific class name. So with the specific class name, we need to create an object. So here I'm creating object with the specific class name. So here I'm saying I'm creating object with the specific class name. After this, I want to print that confusion matrix here. I want to print confusion matrix here. So here in the confusion matrix, we need to specify the result. So here we need to specify the actual input. That is nothing but we need to specify test set data as well as predicted result. So here in this thing, we need to specify test set data as well as predicted value. So initially we did not specify that thing. That's why it is returning confusion matrix missing two required positional arguments. So here we need to specify y true and y prediction. Y true is nothing but it is the test set data and y prediction is nothing but whatever the things which is predicted by all algorithm, that is nothing but predicted values. And I'm running this portion. If we run this portion here, we got confusion matrix like this. So here 068 and 032, sorry 032. So here in this algorithm, if you observe here, we did not specify the random state. Here I want to specify the random state attribute. So if you specify the random state also, it will impact a lot. So here I'm saying random state as some 101. So here somewhere I did mistake. So 68 32, there I did mistake. Let's say random state equals 0. What happens? We will see. we applied every step perfectly. Yeah, good. Here we did not specify this thing. Yeah, it is the perfect confusion matrix. So here, coming to this confusion matrix. So as you already aware of confusion matrix, in this confusion matrix, whatever the values present in the diagonal, those are the true prediction. And whatever the values present in this opposite to diagonal, that is nothing but 8 or 3, those are called as wrong predictions. So if you calculate the accuracy of this matrix, what it returns 65 plus 24, which is nothing but 91. So out of 100 samples, you are predicting, so here 65 plus 24, that is nothing but 89, right? So out of 100 samples, you are predicting 89 samples correctly. And we are predicting 11 samples wrongly. That means if you observe the accuracy of this algorithm, it will return 89%. To know the accuracy of this algorithm, so here we have classification report attribute. So here we have classification report class. Classification underscore report. So here, whenever you create a class means, again with that specific name, we need to create an object. So here I'm saying report R equals to classification report. Here we need to create an object. So based on this test set and predicted data only, we need to perform this thing. I'm copy pasting same thing here. Name classification. Yeah, here spelling mistake. Initially we need to run this portion. Yeah, some spelling mistake. Classification. Sorry, here is missing. Yeah, good. So here I want to see the classification report. So it is like a progress card only. In this progress card, we will get all the parameters or all the metrics. So if you observe this thing here, we got a complete classification report. So in this classification report, you can see accuracy as an 89%. Here we got 89% accuracy. So after this thing, after getting this classification report, what we need to do? We need to visualize the data. So last step is visualizing the data. So here coming to the classification problem, visualization is a different thing. So initially I will type the code. It is a little bit complex code. So after typing that entire code, I will explain you this code. So here initially I want to specify the trading data. I want to plot the graph for training data. So I want to visualize the categorical data which is for training set.
भैया
Okay, then simply, yeah, so to perform this thing, yeah. Okay, then we have 4 minutes, 4 more minutes. So you will so madam will forward you the one more link to connect into the session. So connect into that session within 5 minutes. So within that 5 minutes, I will type this entire code here, and in the next session, I will explain you this code to plot this graph. Got my point? So now I will end this session. Yamma